Consistency is key for kids, but what happens when they live in two different worlds? Welcome back to Where is the Manual, the podcast where we talk about the real, the raw, and the slightly ridiculous sides of parenting. I'm your girl Kiki, and today's episode is going to hit home literally. One time, my child looked at me dead in my face, hand on her little hip, and said, "Mommy, Daddy's house is better because he lets me do whatever I want." Excuse me? Whatever you want? Okay. I took a deep breath, counted to 5, obviously because counting to 10 felt like too much in that moment, and reminded myself this is parenting in two households. Same kid, different rules. And let me tell you, it is not for the faint of heart. Sometimes there's chaos of conflicting rules. At my house, we have a routine, a rhythm. Bedtime is at 8:30, bath, story time, teeth brush, lights out. We have a nice little ritual going that helps her sleep, helps me sleep, and keeps the next morning from turning into World War III. But at her dad's house, bedtime is, I don't even know what time bedtime is, but it certainly isn't what it should be. Apparently, if the tablet is still on, then so are the lights. And even with tablet time, don't even get me started on that. At my house, we do like an hour max on school days, maybe 2 on weekends, and that's after homework, creative activities, reading. Over there, I guess there are no rules. At Dad's house, it's play all day long, which sounds like fun until it's back at my house and she looks at me like I'm the one that's the Wicked Witch of the East for telling her that it's time to do homework, or telling her no, or no, she can't have candy, or let's get into some of these workbooks. And let's even talk about food. Vegetables, for example. She eats vegetables at my house. She might not eat everything, but she definitely is taking bites of everything. Over there, there's Chinese food Friday, pizza Saturday. And when is there time for vegetables if I don't send it to her? If I don't send her with her own pack of snacks, healthy snacks? And then there's discipline. According to her, Daddy's house is fun city, so no boundaries, no rules, no timeouts. And why? Because she got her cousins there. And when the cousins are there, she's having a time of her life. The answer no doesn't even need to get heard, right? Because she's just playing all day. And guess what happens? He doesn't experience the meltdowns or the back talk or the stomping up the stairs that I experience. This happened recently, actually. She went to her dad's house for like 5 days while I was on a trip. I was like, girl, baby, have fun because mommy, is going to miss you, but go ahead and have a good time because mommy's going to have a good time too. And let me tell you, when she got back, she quickly said, "Mommy, I only want to go to Daddy's house on the weekends." Why? Guess what? The cousins don't live there full time. So it's not fun and games all day. They're only around on a weekend. So guess what? The weekdays were quiet. And suddenly, Daddy's house wasn't so fun anymore. Suddenly, she realized full-time parenting isn't just late-night pizza and iPads. It's structure. It's boundaries. It's someone making sure that you get the things done. You take your vitamins. You brush your teeth. You eat your vegetables. You actually go to bed. You do some reading, some enrichment activities. Oh, and guess what she found out? That Daddy yells too. What? Say what? Oh, I thought I was the only yeller. And in that moment, I just sat there and thought, well, welcome to the reality of being the full-time parent. It is not all glamorous. And now let's talk about what I call the parent Olympics. When kids learn they can play one parent against the other like a gold medal sport. Oh, the daddy let me do this, or mommy doesn't make me do that comments. But here's what I gathered. They're not necessarily trying to manipulate you in a malicious way, but they are trying to manipulate you. They're kids, right? So they're testing our boundaries. They're looking for consistency and basically trying to figure out the rules of the two worlds. So what do? You stay calm. You don't take the bait for sure because they they definitely baiting you. Sometimes I just say, well, that's at daddy's house, but at mommy's house, these are the rules. And you have to stand firm. No guilt, no wavering, which is super hard to do. And because these kids, they know they need boundaries and they definitely need it. And even if they don't want them, we still have to stand firm on them. But I make sure to still have that conversation with her dad about being on the same page, that these rules have to be consistent with her. Here's where it gets tricky. Finding that common ground with that other parent. Because if I'm honest, it is hard not to feel frustrated when you're the one enforcing bedtime, limiting the screen time, making sure homework gets done, while the house is, well, his house is the fun house. Your house is the full of rules and discipline house. And here's what I've learned, or learning, because it still pisses me off when I think about it. You can't control what happens in the other home. That's a sad reality I'm really working through at this moment. But what you can do is make sure your home stays consistent, calm, and emphasis on the calm, and structured. That said, it does help to find some common ground. Focus obviously on the big things that matter to you. Safety. Is your child safe? Right? Is there discipline for serious behaviors? Having a conversation with your partner or co-parent about what discipline looks like for your family. What are the school expectations? Making sure homework is done, daily reading. And if you can align on those basic principles, everything else should kind of fall into place eventually. And maybe sometimes some of these things are house specific, right? Because we all know that your child will say, I don't eat that at your house. And guess what happens? Then the other parent says, what? They eat that at my house. I've seen it several times play out with my child. The stuff that she eats at his house doesn't get eaten here. And then vice versa, right? Like, or certain things that she pulls with me, she doesn't pull with her dad. And if direct communication is tough with your co-parent, there's some other ways, right? So just doing messaging. There's parenting apps like Our Family Wizard, Talking Parents, right? So you can take that emotion out of the conversation and keep it about the kids. And trust me, when I tell you, this is not something that's easy. So I'm telling you, this is stuff that I'm working through, because the first thing that I go to is to my emotions and to my feelings. And I'll be super real with you. I'm still figuring it out. Some days I feel like we're in a good rhythm. And then most days I feel like I am playing referee in a game I did not sign up for. But let me tell you what keeps me grounded. Just knowing my baby needs consistency, love, and stability. She doesn't need two identical houses necessarily, but she needs to know that in both houses, she's safe, loved, and supported. Being a full-time parent means I'm the one setting the boundaries, the one enforcing the structure, and sometimes the one she's mad at because I won't let her have cookies for dinner or something like that. And I guess I have to be okay with that, because I know that one day she'll understand that love looks like structure. So if you're living this same reality, navigating two households, two sets of rules with one kid or several kids, know that you are not alone. It's messy, it's hard, and sometimes I am plain out exhausted. But at the end of the day, we may have different rules, but we share the same kid, and that's what matters most. Thanks for tuning in to Where's the Manual? I'd love to hear your stories, any frustrating moments that you have, any tips you have, any you can't make this up parenting moments. Until next time, remember, we're all just trying to figure this out, and honestly, none of us got the manual.
Subscribe to my mommy's channel, like, comment, and share. See you all next time.